Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. If it's the first time, thank you and welcome. This is a place where business owner, entrepreneur, or anyone who's in the business of doing can learn how to grow your business successfully while you're making an impact. As you know, I'm not a professional. This is like a new thing for me, and I welcome you to my journey. I was challenged to do it, and I started watching a lot of videos and YouTube to know if I can do it. And I will appreciate if you can put any comment. I can improve what I can do better, but I'm going to do what I know best, doing business. And if you don't know, I've been in the business industry for over 30 years. Don't let that mama fool you. I'm a 52-year-old woman, and I have 2 grandkids, 5 children. And it is important for me to have a place where people can feel is real. Sometimes I feel like the industry doesn't want to be real, to show the real struggle and challenge behind all this. Because when you're a family member, you have children, husband, or you got whatever challenge you're going through, and life is not easy. Like, say, life is a movie, and every one of us play a part. Some of them play big plot, main lead, low lead, 1 line, 2 line, but you a part of life. And I used to travel with my daughter. One of my daughter was a model and actress. She decided to quit and go into school, and she was doing very good. At that time, they used to have a magazine they called Vibe. She used to be in every month on Vibe. She was in the Team Vogue. She's doing a commercial for, I think, Adidas, Louis Vuitton, and Dolce Gabbana. And she stopped. And I knew how much effort you put into the business. Is the discipline. You need to wake up early. Sometimes I'm tired from work, but I still have to go with her for audition. And she was a minor. She was a child. She was like suddenly that she was 10. It's like I was an actress also, and then because I have to go to every single audition she had. And it was not easy to see them. Sometimes I feel like it was a torture because she was a kid. You can shoot for the whole day apart. I remember one time they were shooting a movie in Maryland. One on one or the other. Something like that. I don't even remember. For a little part of 5 minutes, we spent the whole day from 7:30 a.m. to up to 10 p.m. just for 5 minutes she was on the movie. And that's what I know. Watching a movie or a sitcom or series is not as easy they show it is. And today I decided to bring an actor, an entrepreneur, to come to talk about some tip and trick, how he advanced as a business owner, father, and also an actor, how he make it to the industry, and what he has been doing. If you keep watching with me, you will get the whole interview, and I hope you like it. Hey, don't forget, to put your comment below and tell me what you think I should do best, what I can improve. I will like to hear from you. That's the way we can be in the journey together. They say life is a movie and all of us is an actor. I don't know about you, but I have a real one. And today, Michael going to talk about his acting career and also some tip how to be in the industry and stay in the industry. Hi, Michael. Hi,
How are
Michael.
you? Thanks for the introduction. I'm going to try to talk about all those things and stay in the business myself.
Yes. No, and Michael got like probably 10 hats. I know he's a veteran. He's a good pastry chef. His cake is delicious and decoration. It's not only the cake, but he's good at decorating also. He's a business owner and he's a father of two. And all those hats, his passion is acting. I know that because I saw his passion since the beginning, and I don't know if you remember the last when we talked. He used to mentor basketball kids.
I did. Yeah. Yeah. Still do. Still do.
Yeah, that's mean. But he always say his biggest passion will be acting, and that's what he's doing. He's going to talk about it, and we're going to see how easy or how difficult it is to be in that industry. Acting is like any business. I want people to understand. Acting is nothing different than any business. That's mean you have to get discipline. You need to know your craft. You need to know your industry. You need to know your marketing. You need to have a consistency. And since I'm just an actor of life, the real actor going to tell you exactly how to get about that. Hi, Michael.
How are you? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I know we've actually been talking about this for quite some time to have this interview and to go through it. So it's been years in the making.
Yes, and I'm so delighted, happy to finally have you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
When did you know acting was a career for you?
College. So I studied business at BYU Hawaii, coming out of the Navy, where you mentioned it. I was a chef or a Navy cook, if you will, just running the gamut of everything. And I was in college studying business, and I came across this casting ad. My brother, who was married, I think he was in LA at the time. Pretty sure he was in LA at the time. His or maybe it was Utah. I can't remember time frames, but his wife was really the only actress that I knew personally, and I saw this ad for just a casting in a school play, and it was The Nerd, and I called her and I was like, hey, there's this casting ad. What do I do? She's like, you go to it. And, I had these series of calls with her of just, going to the audition. Hey, I got a callback. Now what do I do? What's a callback? What's that? And she really guided me. She guided me through that process of just understanding what I was supposed to do at every phase, what to expect, what to prepare. And that's where the whole acting thing started. I mean, I've always watched movies, but I never thought growing up being an actor was what I wanted to do. I actually really wanted to play in the NBA. That was my dream as a kid.
Wow.
Was to play in the NBA, and I hadn't made a school basketball team. So I didn't really have any sort of merit to stand on. I mean, I made like an 8th grade team. We won the state championship, not mainly because of me. I sat the bench almost that whole time. but I had always secretly wanted to play in the NBA. I played in all the street ball tournaments. I tried to play kids better than me, and so that was my thing growing up. And then I played basketball in the Navy, and I got to the college level, and I got cut every year that I tried out. And I ended up getting offered a full ride scholarship to Southern Illinois, to Chaminade. But I stayed at BYU. As a milestone, having the Mormon background, I wanted to go to that school as sort of the personal milestone for me, and that's where I studied business, and that's where I ran into the acting track. And from that play, I ended up not getting that part in that play, but then I saw another one for like a student film, and so I did that, and then just one casting led to another from just networking for people, looking in the classifieds. A lot of the productions, when they come to town, they advertise in some way, they call them cattle calls, whether they're looking for extras, but there's times when they're looking for extras where they will actually book somebody on a principal part. It's rare, but it happens. And so I was kind of scouring those ads and, just the internet. The internet's at your fingertips. It's powerful. Everything that you want to know about acting or business, if you want to go be a doctor, a dentist, a psychiatrist, whatever, everything is online. You can sort of find that knowledge out there, at least that first step that you got to take to do it. And so that's what I did, of just sort of scouring those places. Who are the acting teachers? And I was in Hawaii, so who are the acting teachers in Hawaii? And I found all of the acting teachers. Who are the agents in Hawaii? And I found all the agents. I wasn't worried about the representation, but I was worried about starting. I wanted to start somewhere, and so I started doing research, and I started getting involved I read my first play when I was in college. And you have the prerequisites growing up in like high school. You read like Pride and Prejudice and like Romeo and Juliet and all these classics. But I read my first actual play in college at BYU, and that was Fences. And that was August Wilson's a fantastic playwright.
But when we look at those 30 minutes show, 1 hour or 2 hours movie, can you just explain how difficult and how long it take for one take? Because for me, one take is just like, and they tell me some of the movies spend like 2-3 years for that 2 hours.
Yeah, I think it's different with every director. Every director has a different style. Every producer has a different style. The producers sort of get they're sort of guiding the film. The director, it's his say, but they all sort of collaborate together, and that's the beauty of it. It's the collaboration. Making sure you're all aligned on the same vision. But for every director, it's different. David Fincher is a famous director. Is very notorious for doing hundreds of takes for one scene. Some directors do it in 2 or 3. Some directors do it in 1. It just, it depends on the elements they're looking for, the emotion that's in the scene, what type of a scene it is. Is it something to just sort of segue to the next bit, or is it a heavy scene like in The Help with Viola Davis, where she's talking about her, her child being murdered. Those scenes, I think, take a little bit more time to get through them. So it's just a matter of what they're really looking for. But for a 30-minute episode, it takes usually about a week to film one episode. So when all these salaries out of what?
That 30 minutes, that a week?
Yeah, 30 minutes to an hour usually takes 5 to 7 days to make an episode. Every show has a slightly different format, but the blueprint is pretty similar in terms of the amount of days it takes.
Most of the time, I heard some people feel like discouraged to after they reject them.
Sure.
They feel like, I don't think I will never make it. I don't think nobody like me. What type of advice you can tell them? Because I figure out sometimes just because they say no, is may no for this part is not no on you. and they take it like so personally. Maybe that's why they never advance. How you can boost their confidence as an actor who being on the industry? I know you got your, little help, to show you the way, but some people doesn't have that backup system of of somebody who tell them, okay, this is the way it goes. Don't worry about it. And what you can tell them if you go to an audition, and what kind of question if they don't get the part, what kind of question they can ask for next time.
I think a lot, it's a delicate balance, actually. But my first advice would be to not take it personally. And it actually took me a long time to get into that space within myself. Every audition that I've been to, and I think I'm like the worst auditioner out there. I'm sure a lot of other actors and actresses would testify to that same thing, Um, but it's not to take it personal. It's to trust your talent and to trust the work that you've put in, learning your lines, learning the scenes, and it's hard because sometimes for the bigger parts, co-stars, whatever, sometimes you only have one line. How can you build a backstory on one line? How can you build this emotional depth of this character in one line? The way that I look at it in auditions is that it's an opportunity to play. It's an opportunity to explore, to dive in. Just because you have one line doesn't mean you can't write a backstory. I try to write backstories for all of the characters I do auditions, and especially the projects you're attached to. But it really is just owning your talent and having the confidence that the work that you've put in when the lights are off is gonna pay for itself when the lights come on and there's people there. I attribute so much of my acting career to athletics. And I was a wrestler. I wrestled growing up, which was the hardest sport I've ever done. And then it, sort of segued into basketball, and I've done a bunch of other things. But it's been a great teacher of life in that way of teaching a work ethic and just, the hardest work you'll ever do is when nobody's in the gym. You're in the room by yourself,
Yes, that's true.
and that work that you do when nobody's in the gym or when you're in the room by yourself, bawling your eyes out when you're journaling about pain or whatever it is, trying to find your way to these characters and your truth and what you want to say, or what these writers want you to say, um, you end up getting to this place where you're comfortable, you're confident, um, you have that direction. And so it's really leaning into that, to that work that you've done, because it's all with anything, with any business, with any endeavor that you do, it's repetition. The more times you do it, the easier it gets. You're always looking for the maximum efficiency with minimal effort. Well, that minimal effort comes from repetition and just really doing it over and over and over and over again. And just from the words on the page to the character traits, whatever it is, of just really taking those things on yourself. And it helps in the auditions. The more prepared you are, the less nervous you are, the less scared you are when you know your stuff. It's just with anything. You give a presentation in class about some certain topic, you stand up there frightened when you don't know your stuff. It gets to you when you're in the group project, and it's like, no, go ahead.
I think you even you know your stuff. You can be like, yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm giving. I remember. I think in 2012, was my first speaking engagement for a school in Peabody, Florida.
Mhm.
And they told me when in the contract it was like you will be in front of 400 students,
Yeah.
and those students is just like to prepare because it was my old school. I said, oh, that's fine. It's my old school. I was in the school. I know the teachers, and that will be easy. Wrong. Wrong. First of all, he was 3,000,
Yeah.
and the faculty members was there, and I just froze. I was like, what I'm going to say? forgot everything I supposed to say. I think that day I even forget my name.
You know, it's funny because, look, I think if you're not nervous and if you're not scared in some level when you step on the stage or in that room or in front of that class or in front of all those people, I mean, you know, the thousands of people you talk to, right? If you're not afraid or nervous in those situations, you're not a human being, you're not normal. But what I've learned through acting and through my mentors that have taught me is being rooted in your truth, and that nervousness that you get, that scared feeling that you get of just really leaning into those things and using them to your advantage, you know, really shifting it in that way. And it's helped me in the auditions.
Yeah, that's true. Because I think the first thing I did, I had a mentor. She's from Arizona, and I texted. I say, "Cool." 5 minutes before my stage, I forgot my name. I said, "What do you mean you forget your name?"
Yeah.
And I said, "This is what you're going to do. Be the craziest Andrews I ever know." Say, forget about those people.
Yeah.
Just go be the craziest you ever
Yeah.
been.
Well, you know, you think about when you forgot your name and you're scared in these situations, it's also because you weren't present. You were up here.
Yeah.
When you're in your head about everything and you're thinking about, oh, what's the crowd going to think of me? What's the next line? What's this? What am I supposed to say? You start getting real cerebral about everything. The more self-aware and just in your body that you can be in present and firmly rooted. I mean, it works. It works. Be present. Be present in those moments. Be present in the room. You've already done the work. You've already done the work. You've already put in the time. Trust it. Let it go. And be present there. Connect with people. Connect with the people on the other side of the table or in that room of whatever it is you want to say. You know, one of the things that I learned too was we're just having trouble like learning a lot of the lines that I had a lot of dialogue to learn in a short amount of time. And the thing that kept coming back to me from a mentor was just tell the story. Tell the story. Say what you want to say, or whatever this writer wants to say, right? Tell the story. When you know the story, then you know where to input the pauses, to articulate, to punch the certain lines. It's everything is a stepping stone. Everything is that process. And I think the more that you can be relaxed with yourself and confident of the work that you've put in, the more it's going to serve you in the moment you need to shine. You know, that's what's worked for me. But you know, it's tough in the auditions to not take things personally. You know, it's a delicate balance when somebody doesn't think you're the right part. Been told I've got big ears, got too big of a a hairline, my teeth are too big, I'm too tall, I'm too skinny. All these things. How do you not take those personally? Well, it's just about the part and their vision of what they're trying, what they want and who they envision to be.
Okay. That means it's not you, is the person you're going to play do not have that feature you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's really tough. Because we take part they're talking about me. Why I'm too tall. Because I think being tall is a good thing.
Yeah.
And did that ever put you on the stage of depression? Because some people take stuff so well they become depressed.
Yeah, this is a tough business. You know, there's a lot of people who suffer from the mental illness and, you know, depression, and it's tough. I think actors and artists and creatives in general have some of the most fragile egos of anybody, because we're actors and we're entertainers and we're creatives, but every day we're looking for a job. Every day we're looking for the next project, the next thing, you know, how we're going to eat next week, and all these things. And so it's the greatest business to be in when you're working. It's sometimes the worst when you're not, because then you go inside yourself and you start doubting your abilities and your talents. You know, so you always have to check in. Always have to check in with yourself. And I've been in that low point a lot in the business, and you know, I don't know if I have all of the right answers of, you know, what's the surest way out, but I think it's being positive about yourself. you lead with negativity, you get negativity back. And I've always tried to be that positive person and to look at the lesson of why I'm not working, why am I not being cast in anything. This business is so much about building a brand. It's a business.
Yeah, you are the brand.
Right. So outside of being an actor, you have to put on your business cap and think about, how do I want to lead my business? Am I marketing myself the right way? Is my packaging the right way? What about my talent? How am I executing? What can I do better? We always think about that as CEOs or whatever projects we're spearheading, is how can we be better? What could I have done differently? It's be kind to yourself, but also don't lie to yourself. Be truthful about it. It's nice to have, a small circle of mentors, people that you really respect, that are, maybe more successful than you, and they're doing what you're doing. They've already been through the problems that you've faced, and leveraging their expertise and their wisdom helps get you out of some of those moments, because you learn from them of their pitfalls and the things that they did wrong, and most of the time it ends up serving you. I think it's checking in with yourself and being honest and being kind. It's the hardest thing. You're already not working. You're already struggling to sort of get through the business of being rejected. Why would you be mean to yourself about the whole process, saying that you're not good enough? It's not going to serve you any further. You're not going to get anywhere else from that. Anytime that I'm not cast in something, or I'm not working, there's moments where the phone doesn't ring, my agent doesn't email me, my agent doesn't call me, and I think to myself, okay, what can I be doing more for my agent? What can I be doing more for myself to get cast in projects? And sometimes that's reaching out to past people you've worked with, just connecting, taking them to lunch, or picking their brain about projects, giving value to somebody else. What are they working on? Don't make it about yourself. Make it about them and their work, and how you can serve them, and those opportunities, those moments for me have given me a ton of opportunities.
Have you ever went back to a casting director and asked them why I didn't have that part, what I was missing to craft myself better or to learn better? Have you ever go back and ask these questions?
Yeah, a lot of the times, there's a lot of casting directors who don't ever give you feedback. There's a lot. And that's the hard part, is, you as an artist, you as a professional, have to figure out, well, how can you go from audition to audition to audition, and some of them you don't get called in. You block it. It's this life of just blocking out your schedule for auditions, shoot dates, travel dates, anticipating you might do this project, and you never get a call. So at what point do you accept that you didn't get that part and move forward? Is it when you walk out of the audition room, or is it a week from the audition?
Yeah, I want to know that. Yes.
Yeah, so it's tough. And so, at least the projects that I've helped develop and that I've had an authoritative voice on, where I've casted other people, I've given, even if they weren't selected, I've given every single one of those actors the closure. You weren't selected for this part, you chose to go another way, to give the actors closure, because I've always operated with the things that I do in the business and in business and other endeavors, is that one of the things I've always wanted is somebody, or I've wanted to be that person that I never had when I was coming up in the business, when I was playing basketball. I wanted that coach there with me, telling me the things I was doing wrong, the way I could improve. Just the same as being an executive in film and TV and commercials, or whatever stage, whatever I'm casting or working on. I want to give that same opportunity to other people.
I think it's the same for business. Feedback is very important.
It is, and in this business, it's already a fragile business, and there's also a lot of people who can't really take the criticism. You have to be able to take the criticism in the right way. It's criticism is a great thing, but it's all about how you receive it, how you take it. Do you take it personal or do you take it constructively? I've had my work ripped apart before by producers and by family members. I value that. I value trimming the fat, if you will, in terms of a metaphor of just cutting right to it, no BS, of just, the shortest distance is a straight line, right? And just getting to it of what are the things on the surface, and here's how we can make it better. Here's how we can make you better. Here's what I would like you to try this or try that. And so it's giving options in the feedback for another artist to do what they, to put their talent to use. How well do you take direction? Some of the times you don't get cast because you can't take direction. You get a note, and I say this from experience. So the projects that I've lost out on is because I also knew for myself, I don't think I took direction that well. I think I could have done it this way. Why didn't I do it that way? You sort of analyze it a little bit. You got to know when to sort of let it go and just be done with it, put it in the past and move on to the next one. But having that feedback helps. And if I'm in a position to be able to give that feedback or that closure to somebody, I try to do it too. It serves everybody.
Did you have a specific style of?
Truthful. Truthful. Yeah, that's it's hard in some of the characters you play. They always say you don't play. You're a villain. Like, how do you play a villain? You're a person.
Yeah,
I really do try to. I did an off-Broadway stage play, Esther.
Yes,
musical.
Musical.
I think last year, I think it was. Yeah. I had a smaller part in the play. It was one that I didn't really want. I've always wanted to be the lead. On the stage, I always wanted to be the lead. I've never, right, everybody.
Everybody wants to be the lead.
I think I've been the lead maybe a couple of times, but on this particular play, I had a smaller part. The lead guy dropped out 5 days before the play opened. We spent months blocking everything, and I had 5 days to learn all the dialogue, character study, the research. The saving grace was that this character was biblical, so I had a real solid reference to go back to look at what are the facts, sort of my own process. One of the things that I did was I took my script and I put on one column, they say, and I say on the other side. And I wrote down all of the things in the script that other people said. And I wrote down in the script, in that other column, everything that I said about myself, and sort of formed this foundation of perspective, my own perspective and other perspectives, of who this character was. And then obviously I used the scriptural references and the articles that were out there, and theories, and built it from that base. And so that was a challenging time for me to learn all of this stuff under a fast timeline. But it was about diving in. It was about being present. It was about trusting.
Take the challenge to the next level.
Yeah, trusting the work and taking the challenge. I mean, and look, and honestly, it terrified me too, because I thought to myself, I wanted the part, and I knew what the director was asking me as soon as he came up to me. Christopher Monroe, he's fantastic. Right? I'm grateful for him for giving me the opportunity to do that play and to take that part and to carry the show. And the cast members, whether or not I could do that was going to determine, if we were going to do the show or not. Somebody had to step in, and so I was terrified of that. But I've also learned that doing those roles that terrify you are the ones that stretch you the furthest and really bring out the best in you and also everybody else. So I wanted to give it that concentration and that focus. And that's what it takes. And I think my experience in television, when you get scripts, you don't have a whole lot of time to prepare. You get pages and pages of dialogue, and you have a day or two to prepare sometimes. Sometimes it's longer, it just depends. So having that background enabled me to be able to do that under those time constraints on stage. And stage and film and TV is totally different. It's different mediums.
Yeah, I learned that because
Yeah.
people tell me, "Oh, you can do it." Yeah, right now I'm not making fool of myself.
Well, if you mess up on camera, you just hit the stop button. You delete it.
Yeah,
Go right back to where you started. Start over. Do 100 takes. You mess up on stage.
that's it.
You got to figure it out, and that's where the real craft comes in. And so in terms of advice for younger actors or people that are just wanting to get into the business, get on stage. All of the great actors are from the stage. I mean, there's a lot of great actors, but Meryl Streep, Brando, Denzel, all those people, they're all from the stage. That's where you polish your craft. That's where you really.
I think it gives you more discipline and also a fast learning experience.
Yeah.
Because you don't have that backup behind you to say, okay, cut.
Yeah, you've got the cues of the next person to sort of, help you out, but that's only if they really know your part and how, where you fit. So it's a fun dance to go on stage and really test your chops, and it's nice when you go and do film and TV for a little while, and then you go and I have so much more that I haven't done that I'm aspiring to do, but going on stage is an incredible experience because it gives you the depth that you need as an artist to be able to sustain you for the longevity, and that's important to me, is the longevity.
Do you think your business study really align or prepare you as an actor?
100%. It's show business. It's show business. There's a lot of really, really great actors that don't ever get to where they need to go because they don't know the business side of things, and vice versa. There's a lot of very, very talented business people who don't make it as an actor because they don't focus on the craft. So you have to learn to mold the two, and what I am so grateful for is for that business education I had at BYU. I studied international business. I've started my own companies. Every job I've ever done, not to toot my own horn or anything at all, but every job that I've had through life, from my first job of detasseling corn to being a line cook at a sports bar to being a paper boy, I've always had, to my time in the Navy, I've always had a leadership position. I've always been thrust into a leadership position really quickly. It's my greatest blessing and my greatest curse, I think. One, because you're like, I didn't ask for this.
Yes.
But at the same time, I take pride in that too, that people trust me in those positions, and that I've had the qualities of whatever a leader has, that they've felt like I would thrive in those positions. And I've just tried to do my best with that, of, again, being the kind of person that I didn't have in those leadership positions growing up or in adulthood or being on my own or in the Navy, and just wanting to make a difference. I've always wanted to make a difference in leadership positions, and always wanted to make a difference in my acting work, to, paralleling culinary arts and acting in these similar worlds of self-mastery and they just quietly touch lives of other people and wins people's respect. And I've always, as a chef, I'd always wanted to serve that one person who just had the worst day, who just wanted that hot meal to have a boost of confidence, just something to brighten their day. And that's the same way I felt like as I've been on stage, on cameras, to serve that one person in the audience looking to better their life, examine their life, the things that they're doing. And you can do all that through this profession of acting, and that's what I've really gravitated towards, and that's kind of been my shtick, as I've prepared the work and I've collaborated with people. On a financial level, like I'm no A-lister. Maybe, what does that even mean, anyways,
yes.
right? But like, I believe in being a good human being, and being kind and working hard and having a work ethic and showing up. There's a lot of people who don't show up in this business. They want to be an actor, they want to be famous, they want to do all these things, but it's the day-to-day stuff of how many scripts have you read, how many plays have you saw, how many plays have you read, how many people did you email, how many people are you writing thank you notes to, how many call sheets have you kept. It's all these little things that are the stepping stones for your next opportunity in the business and that next time that you're going to be cast. It's a very small world in this business, especially in casting. There's 8 or 9 major studios. There's a lot of casting directors, but that world is so small. These casting directors cast multiple shows and they all talk. You might not have any credits and get in your first casting room, and you might make an impression on this person, and they know so-and-so who's casting a major movie or a TV show or a commercial, and they just call them up and say, hey, I have this kid in my room. You should take a look at him. And then right there's your shot. And so it's just being cognizant of those things, of the things that are going to build your brand and move you forward.
Do you have a favorite actor or actress? Do you have one or several you look toward to the craft, to the way they work?
Denzel.
Oh my God, we got something in common.
Yeah, Denzel.
And I thought I was going to marry Denzel Washington.
As did thousands of others.
It's like so funny each time he got the movie, and the kids never tell me I was on the TV. They say, Mommy, your husband is playing. Because it's just, I think like every woman, to not disrespect to his long time marriage to his wife, but I think in our mind we need to have somebody like that as a role model.
Yeah.
And it keep blowing us away in every single time. Not even in his movie as a character, but as a personal, as a Denzel Washington himself is a great human being. It's when you want to. And what's your favorite actress?
I would say Meryl Streep.
Oh my! You cannot love everybody I love. I love that woman.
Yeah, I there's so many talented actors and actresses.
Yes, but his craft, his work, is like effortless. And the reason I love about her, she had that picture which I have when she was going to cast for the woman at the girl as at I think King Kong, something like that. They said she was not pretty enough. Yeah. It's because she was different.
Right.
And I always take that picture with me, and I say, people will say, you're not good enough, you're not thin enough, you're not this enough. But right now, look at that woman. She was not good enough, but now she's on top of the world. You can be too.
Yeah.
And I have 3. I love Angelina Jolie for being a badass on television. And if I could choose anybody to be on, it will be Angela Bassett.
Yeah, I could see the resemblance there.
I love, and I didn't even make a joke when
She's had a great career.
Yes, she's humble.
Yeah,
I love her husband Vince, and I love her, and whatever they do, That's the thing I will watch. I don't care if people telling me the good, they're not bad. Those people I will pay money to watch the stuff because they are my favorite. The reason I like Angela Bassett because she's been Angela Bassett. She's who she is. She doesn't try to be nobody else. She's a strong woman. She play everything she play her. and and I even make a joke when I go to the gym. I got the personal trainer. They say, "Do you have anything on it?" I say, "If you can give me Angela Bassett body, I'll pay you twice."
That's funny.
Twice. And that's my goal to stay healthy. I say I have to be like her. I say I want to be an age, look exactly like her. And this is like I want people to understand. It's not an easy thing. When she was given, I say I want to be her, and I start Google whatever she does to be like that. I say, really? Did I have that trust on myself
Yeah.
to do her? It's a lot of work. The time you wake up, the meeting you have to go to, the exercise, the food, the family, the kids. How was that? About to you, my dear, my queen. You've done a lot. This is like I want people to say, do not compare themselves with others. Just try to be themselves. And any type of business you're in, try to be you. And if you got rejected, find a way to ask. I mean, I ask a lot of time. Right now, I'm not in the position to ask for a job, but I'm in the position to ask for proposal. When a proposal got rejected for a business, I need to go back and ask, send a letter. I thank you for your time, and also I want to know what I'm missing. What was the reason? Some of the feedback you have really mold you for the next one.
Yeah. And sometimes too, I've also not wanted to know the feedback because then it really messes with you sometimes going back into this cerebral process of everything of overanalyzing because we can overanalyze things so much when you have that feedback. And I think sometimes not having that feedback also helps you stay truthful to yourself.
As an actor. And the business is different from me because we need to know.
Right, but there's also, it's funny because it's just this delicate balance because, how much is too much validation of what people want or what people are looking for in your business as opposed to what you're, when you were first starting your business, most businesses are run to solve problems. Right? And they come from a real truthful place, and the more that they go on, sometimes it ends up being about, catering to what somebody thinks is wrong with it, or what isn't working with it, and then, the problem gets overshadowed, the truth gets overshadowed. So I've tried to navigate that a little bit as an artist, and it's tough. It's tough with any business, any endeavor that you take. But I think having an awareness of at least what you're trying to accomplish certainly helps dissect all of that feedback. But I would say, yeah, sometimes I've been comforted not knowing the feedback.
For me, I need to know. Because I need to know the why. Because the why can mess up your mind. Because I feel like if I'm going to do a casting, which I will not, because I don't think I will be good at that. But I will want to know.
Some of the people who think that they wouldn't be very good actresses or actors are some of the best. The people that don't have the top of the line training and they haven't been sort of conditioned in some way and they just step right into it and it happens.
Yeah, believe me, that director will be really hungry for somebody who's desperate to cast me because I don't have no skill whatsoever. But I will want to know because I'm not a perfectionist, but I like to know answer because when you the unknown is the burn factor for me. What I don't want to regret. What should I do better? That's why I like people who criticize me and anything. So I don't take any criticism personal. Like I say, I know me. I wake up with myself for 52 years.
Yeah.
I don't need you to tell me who is Andres, but I want you to tell me who was that character was. That's the difference. It's not like I'm looking for validation from them, but I need to know what was Mrs. Devon supposed to be compared to Andres. I didn't that Mrs. Devon part is because I was Andres. But what could I do better to take that part? The next time when I see another Mrs. Devon, I will know. Try to stop my hand, or roll my eyes, or warm my hair. Maybe that's what I was missing. Because sometimes you have to really deep into the character. And I learned that from Denzel. Denzel say when he got the script, it become the person. That's what make it so great. He forget about Denzel Washington. Whoever he is, he become that person.
Yeah.
And I think this is a great way in the business. I never take anything personally because I'm not in the business to please people. I'm in the business to make money, to be profitable, and to make an impact. And since that's the way I already put it, if I make a proposal, for example, because in my business we do philanthropy, and when we send a business, for example, if I send a proposal to the UN, I need to know why my proposal was rejected. That's the way next time I know exactly what the requirement is to include it in my proposal. That's why I don't waste my time. Think in business and acting probably the same thing. But if you think you're going to, play with your inside, your mind, if you think that's the best way, but for me, no, I need to know the no. Because if I don't know the no, I'm not going to sleep. I'm going to keep asking, why Michael reject me again? I know I did everything in that script. That's me.
Yeah, the greatest, one of the greatest elements I think of being an artist in general is just the element of discovery, of the element of discovery of exploring, stretching yourself. When you get a script, I always love the script analysis part of it, of asking all the questions. What was this person like? How old are they? What's their background? Where's their parents from? Sort of building this backstory. It's tougher with commercials and those sort of things, but you can still discover and make those things your own in a way that you can't with a TV series. So much is given to you in a TV series or a film, whereas you get commercials, it's nothing. It's sort of the scene, the product, and you are left to your imagination to sort of build this character of whatever commercial it is you're giving, whether it's a toothpaste ad, whether it's deodorant, whether it's steaks, peanuts, whatever. So the element of discovery and imagination and surprise and just adding your own flair to a part is what makes it fun. As an actor, you're a detective going through the script and finding these moments, the moments before, where you came from, looking at the arc of everything of where you're going, where do you end up, what's this person's fate in the script, into the whole story, how do you fit, discovering all those things is fun. And you spend a lot of time reading books and articles and whatever. Everybody's process is different. Everybody takes a different approach, but it's that element of discovery for me that I love so much. With all the great actors and all the great roles that were ever done, there's an immense amount of hard work that goes into that. It's not just they get cast for the part and they show up and they win an Oscar for this part. There's a lot of there's a lot of preparation.
That's it. I'm an actress. I got the Oscar. I think that was
that's the shortest way. It's great. With going back to favorite actresses, Denzel is the mecca for me. By his career, being a role model, his leadership, the everything that he does. But also, I really love the character actors: Philip Seymour Hoffman, Joaquin Phoenix,
yes.
Phenomenal
yes,
actors. I my own stuff, I'd always wanted to work with Joaquin Phoenix and Denzel and Meryl and all these people, but it's those character actors too that I really love. Viola Davis is another one. That woman
Yes.
makes me weep in movies.
Yes.
Yeah, she's great. She's great.
I always said, I said, can they cast me just to be around them? Because I love them so much. That's what I said. I don't want to, my name doesn't have to be on the screen. Just cast me to just show me I was giving them a pen. And my kids were like, you will be froze when you see Denzel. Anyway, that's why they're not going to cast on you. But it is have the screen. People think a little thing they do for 2 hours or 30 minutes doesn't change other people's life, because people look toward those people. I look into them endurance leadership when I want to do something. Even I'm not in the acting industry, but I always look at them on the business side. What can I do to be that leader? And I think it is a good thing for the new generation to look when they get into acting. What if you can give us 5 tips if somebody wants to go to that industry? What is the most important 5 tips they must follow, and also what is your newest? I need to bring the tea. You think I forgot? I'm not going to. Now I need to have the tea. What is your newest project right now?
Where do you want me to start?
Give me the 5 tip, and after that, we going to dip into the the tea.
Got it. I think the 5 most important. There's so much to sort of unpack. For me, you got to have a spiritual foundation of some sort, whatever that is, whatever you believe, whatever. There's a real sacred nature to creativity, and I think when you're reading script and you're sort of finding your way through those things really help you, and of having that foundation of being close to deity, and which leads me also to gratitude, and that will open a gazillion doors for you,
yes.
right? Of being gratitude that you're even in the room, that you're even in that audition room. There's this thought that 1% of the actors make up the largest financial payouts as a union member.
Yes.
That 1% of actors get called into rooms, into audition rooms, and so whether it's a student film, whether it's a TV series, whether it's a movie, whether it's a commercial, those projects are submitted to by thousands of people, hundreds within an hour. Projects that I've casted in 30 minutes, I had like 1,000 submissions, and you as a casting director have to go through and sort through those things. So when I have friends, or even myself in different stages of my career, when I'm like, I'm not working, and you get mad at your agent for not getting you in another room, and you're not in anything, I think about the auditions that I do get in and realize you are the 1%. You are the people that are getting called in. And so it's the gratitude of knowing that you're in this room, but just know that when you walk out of this room, there's 1,000 other people behind you that want to take your spot, that wish they had that opportunity. So if you come to auditions unprepared, which I have in the past, you work late, you're doing this or you're doing that, you don't have the time, whatever that excuse is. I've showed up to auditions unprepared, and I haven't gotten the part, rightfully so. But you show up to those auditions unprepared. You don't deserve to be in that room. You got to prepare yourself. You're a part of such an exclusive, elite group of people that get called in, and you might not get called in anymore. One botched audition could ruin everything. So I've really tried to mold myself now as I've grown through experiences, is that being grateful for every opportunity that I have to get into an audition, because it's a chance for you to play, it's a chance for you to fail, it's a chance for you to explore, and it's a chance for you to act. A lot of people are like, I want to be an actor, but what do you want to do? This is your opportunity to act, to present something to somebody, and then you leave it, you let it go. You let it go. You let it go from there. You do the work in the audition room, and you let it go from there. You let them decide. It's not your job to decide whether or not you get that part. The only thing you can control is your effort of preparation and what you do
Sure.
to show up.
Do you think consistency is a part of it? Because I'm a big fan of consistency.
Yeah, I do. The discipline and the consistency of it, for sure. For sure. You have to have a work ethic in this business. The hard part about it is that you want to have a life. You want to do things. And the challenge we as artists face is that, we don't want to go away because we might miss an opportunity, we might miss an audition, or when you do go away, that's when all of the good stuff comes to you. It's happened to me before also. I've missed auditions because I was out of town, or I traveled, or I had XYZ going on. But it's also very important, as another tip, is to fill your well, to fill your cup, live your life, to have these rich experiences, to have a perspective, to have an opinion, because those things are all the things you draw on as an artist for inspiration, on stage, on camera, those experiences, and I would say, own your gift, own your talent. With that ownership comes confidence. Walk into the rooms with confidence that you belong there. Walk onto the sets that you belong there, and that's a big part of it.
It is.
We stop ourselves when we lack the confidence to succeed at it, or to fail. And a lot of us are afraid to fail at it. I, myself included at one point too. But I relish those moments of failure on stage. That failure on stage for me, of something that wasn't working, was what led me to where I'm at now. When I was in a play and I was just struggling with everything, as emotions and mannerisms, and I couldn't quite find my way into this character. So I went out into the audience after rehearsal, pitch dark auditorium, and I just sat there. And I just looked at the stage, envisioned what I envisioned, saw what I saw, and helped me find my way and gave me the confidence that failing is okay, that not finding your way into something is okay. What can you do better? Like, how can how can you
and that's when you're going to fail anyway.
Yeah, how can you shift? So it's that ownership. Take ownership of your talent. Take ownership of your past. Take ownership of where you've been, because all those things are your life source for those acting jobs that are going to come, and it's going to help give you the confidence and the business acumen to sustain yourself, the longevity in the business.
Yes, that's some great tip.
Yeah.
Now, spill the tea, spill it out. What are you working on, and how we can watch you? If it's going to be a movie, if it's going to be a series, I need to know the truth.
Well, so I'm on The Loudest Voice. It's on Showtime. It's an 8-part series. I'm in the 5th episode. The 5th episode actually premieres tonight.
Wow!
You can watch it on Hulu. You can watch it on Showtime. It's there. It's into the universe. It's going to be there forever.
Yes,
it's going to be there forever.
Yes.
So that's the biggest project. It was a co-star part. I'm not the lead. I'll get there soon.
Yes.
But yeah, so that premieres tonight, and that's about Roger Ailes. Russell Crowe plays Roger Ailes, and it's about his journey through founding Fox News, his demise, and that whole series, and everything that happened in terms of all the sexual harassments that happened. Naomi Watts is in this as well.
Wow.
I couldn't put the script down when I got the call from my agent to audition for it and ended up getting the part. I couldn't put the script down at
Yeah,
all.
that's just consistency and hard work.
Yeah.
It's not like they just give it to you.
Yeah.
You really work the way to be able to be in that position.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people want um, to do some stuff. They want to say, I want to be actor, I want to be a business person, I want to do this. But they never prepare themselves for it. But the reason you could take it because you was ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you was not ready, no matter who they give it to you, they can telling you to even get one line or no line, you're still not going to be able to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's one tip they're supposed to be ready.
You stay ready.
Be ready
never
and
have to get ready.
Yeah. Stay ready. When you get ready and stay ready.
Yeah, it's training, you know. It took a long time, and this isn't. I know this isn't the biggest part that I'll have. You know, I know that there's a lot of other great things ahead of me, but every job builds that momentum, and this job will get the next job, and so on and so forth. And so, you know, it's training, it's reading plays, it's reading good material, it's collaborating with good people. All of these things are all part of being a working actor. You're working.
It's a business.
You might not be getting paychecks all the time.
But you are working.
Right, but it goes back to that point of when the lights are off, what are you doing? What are you doing with that time? And that's going to get you in these rooms. You know, I auditioned for this part back in February. I didn't get booked on the part, offered that until mid-March. You know, and it was between. I don't know how many people I beat out for it.
Yeah, but you say, oh, maybe they're not going to call me. It's been a month already.
You know, they sort of give you dates. They give you shoot dates of when you got to block out your schedule.
Okay.
And you have to figure out your life from that point. You haven't been offered a formal offer, but yet you still have to keep this blocked out.
Yes.
I had several auditions in between that time that also conflicted with this series, but I wanted the series. I also wanted the other jobs, and so it's you know, dialogue back and forth with my agent of, well, what do I do? Which, you know,
I think communication is a part of it
so
also.
You know, it's navigating all these things, and it's challenging, but it's a great business to be in. It's fun. It gets stressful.
And can't be which one. Even life is stressful.
Yeah, but it's fun. So that's my newest and my latest work. I'm also developing a couple of projects too. I'm developing a feature film with some other colleagues that I worked with on previous projects about substance abuse and that whole
mental health. Are you going to touch mental health? Because I think this is something they are supposed to touch a lot. That one thing was really touched my heart was always Robens Williams was one of my favorite person because I want to marry Denzel Washington, but my actor was Robens Williams, and when he died, and until now, that hurt me because I don't just because I'm smiling doesn't mean I'm okay, and a lot of people in that industry, I don't think they really have any type of help or really deep into the sickness to know that person, even is smiling, he need help too.
Yeah, but I've always tried to at least do my part in reaching out and just, you know, I'm a firm believer that when you think about somebody,
yes,
you should just tell them,
yes,
text them, call them, whatever. But the friends that I have, they can vouch for that. The random text that they get, and you know, we might not talk for quite a while, but just any time that I have those thoughts that I think about somebody, I like to tell them and just to let them know that I'm thinking about them and that I care, that their lives are valuable to me, you know, just for being a part of my life in some way. So I don't know if it's mainly the project I'm developing is mainly around the substance abuse and alcohol and the recovery process in that way. There obviously that always leads to
That leads to mental, yes.
right, the
That's why I
depressions
said
and
that.
things like that.
Yes.
So there's all elements in there, and so that's in development right now. So probably next year releasing that sometime. Yeah,
No, I would probably try to be part of the project. You don't have to be, I'm not the director, but I will execute. I can be in the production because this is the type of project I invest.
Yeah.
Yes, because those are matter to me. Because making impact in other people like that's something who's really dear to my heart. It's just like regardless you're doing all you're doing. I know you have to take care of your kids, your father. You have a business. You're acting. You're networking. You doing a project, but the good thing about you never lose your element, who is you. That's a great gift for an actor and for a human being, for a business person. And I hope you stay that way, and we can see you in all the big screen. And I will be the first, and I hold you to that one, to get the ticket to go to the premiere and to go to the red carpet, to interview on the red carpet. Therefore, I'm very honored to have you,
I appreciate that.
continue giving your craft, continue working hard, as a hard working person I ever know. You work hard, because I don't know how you do it, but you've been doing it. You may don't think I follow everybody I'm got interest on. That's a good thing, because I need to see the progress, especially when people think they cannot do it. And I told them, no, 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 no. I know that person. He did that, and he's still doing fine. And this is like an element for me to show people, real people like you. It's not like nothing is craft. He's a real person. He doesn't have a Lamborghini. He doesn't have a mansion in Upton. He's a real father, a real actor, and a real business person. This is the type of interview and show I want to bring, because it's like too many scripted stuff on, and people make that the illusion life is easy. No, life is that nothing in life is easy. And I always tell people, if you never got a kid, borrow one, but and see, even the first
and then
step,
give them right back.
Yes, give it right back, but put that baby and let that baby try to see how hard it's trying to make that first step.
Yeah.
We all in life have to make that first step.
Yeah, and I think with just getting started, it's taking that leap. It's just doing it. You have the desire to do it. It's just forget what your mom says, your dad, your brother, your sister, your cousins, your aunts, all these other people. Just, you have to step out and do it. You got to step out and try. And that's from the earliest point in my career. That's what I did. I was married at the time, and I was a full-time student, and I never thought that my career would expand to this point. My only goal was to do, when I got in there, was like, I wanted to just be in this play. And then I just wanted to be in this movie. I've wanted to do just one project a year. If I felt like I did one project a year of, some major project, whatever it was, stage, film, TV, commercial, then I felt like I was succeeding in the business, and I would stick around.
And now look at you now.
12 years later, here I am, still in it. And the craft and everything is great, but on a human level, this business has made me a better friend, a better dad, a better, partner to people, and a better colleague. It's blessed my life immensely. Yeah.
And I believe so, because the more people you got in front of you, the more you become to know exactly how to live in that society.
Yeah.
I don't live by the norm, because I live by me. Because like I said, people, I'm not like overconfident, but like I know myself so well. I learn how to know myself. Therefore, I'm trying now to learn other people and to be more respectful to their value.
Yeah.
And that's very important to me. And I cannot thank you enough for being here.
Thank you so much.
And I know we're going to meet some of the time, but one thing you have to say for me.
To all of you out there, you gotta keep trying, keep moving, keep inspiring, keep helping, keep believing, keep dreaming, keep hoping, keep loving. I know you got
this.
I know you got this.
I know you got this, and you're going to continue to be the best you are, and you're going to make an impact. And thank you for watching us, and see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share for another video like this. Thank you.
Yeah, you got this. Give me the faith that you got